And welcome to the 2026 Formula One World Championship. Except it's not quite a World Championship this year because, as we've just been discussing, April is a bit of a silly month. They decided that April doesn't pay enough money, so they're not racing April. I think that's the reason. I'm not absolutely certain, but nonetheless, you would have thought that this multi-billion-pound industry that we call Formula One would be capable of arranging something, right? But obviously, Liberty Media don't want to pay for A, the hire of the circuit, B, the cost of reimbursing the teams for the transport, etc., etc. So, fuck the fans. Fuck the fans. Even though there are plenty of circuits they could go and race on, they'd have to make a deal with the circuits, and they're not going to do that. They're simply not going to do it. So we're worthless. We are literally worthless, Fabio. You are absolutely the pits. You may, even if you lived very close, right, to San Marino, right, even if you did, you wouldn't be worth entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying.
I
think
know.
we can all get that. And like even if you knew how to find Imola, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you had some money to go and pay for a ticket,
hmm
they wouldn't care. They wouldn't
Yeah.
want your money. Yeah, and you know why?
Oh, because we don't care.
Well, because you don't care. That's the
Yeah.
point. You're not worth it. You are
Well,
not
Oh,
worth
yeah.
the
I
time
think
for
they've got the
Liberty
money
Media.
already, haven't they? They've got the
Oh, yeah.
cash already, so they don't care.
Yeah.
Uh, Look, I mean,
Bastards.
we're not shitting on Liberty Media too much, but we're just saying, it's not beyond the will of man and capability of the FIA to organise new circuits
Yeah.
just to fill it in. Even if they decide that they're not going to count towards the major world championship, which would be silly. We have plenty of circuits which are FAA approved Formula One circuits, which we're currently not racing at.
Yeah.
And it would be no problem just to bring some kit back to Europe, right? I mean, where are they now? China, right?
They are.
They're in
Yeah.
China.
They're in China. Yeah.
Okay, so what is officially the next race? Do we know?
Well, it's
You
it's
just
in
have a quick look.
Japan. It's in Japan, but the issue is that they were already supposed to come back to Europe, or close to Europe, because
Yeah,
the two Grand Prix were in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and stuff like that. I mean, those
it's
places.
halfway, isn't it? It's basically
Yeah.
halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, not to say that there isn't, like circuits out there, right?
Yeah.
Have they been talking about going back to Adelaide? Yes, they have. They could have, like when they found out, gone, Adelaide, do you want to maybe do that? Don't know. Don't know. They could have arranged it, although it's probably a dodgy circuit by now. They've been talking about getting Kyle Army up to standard, right?
I mean, they might have gone to the US. I mean, I'm sure that Texas would have held another one, because the other races would be in Miami and Canada. So go right there. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's another alternative idea. We don't have to go to new circuits.
Yeah.
Could have just could have gone to Barcelona, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they racing at
Yeah.
Barcelona this year?
I don't know. I mean, they're trying. I'm not even sure they're going to race in Madrid, because the circuit is still, it's yeah. I mean, saying that it's not finished would be an understatement. It's just not there yet. But
Jack Stevens, welcome. Also, Grand Home Fishings, thank you very much for being here. Jack Stevens says that was one of the best races I've seen in a long time. And I've heard from so many people saying these cars are terrible and not as good. But in the two races and one sprint, there's been brilliant battles. Fabio,
yeah, he has
what
a
say you?
really good point. He has a really good point. I mean, so far, I mean, we can criticize the rules, until we turn blue in the face. But it's also a fact that those two races have been really good. I mean, from a spectator point of view, they were really good. Uh, I don't even I don't think that they were um, too complicated to watch. Mostly because F1 has never been an easy sport to watch. So I mean I wouldn't really care about that. I mean before there were the tires and all the stuff. Now we got to get used to how the energy is deployed and other angles. But again, I'm not really sure it counts. It's just that the show was so good, right? I mean, overtakes in places that we are not used to see because of how the car behaves. Uh, and also, I mean, I got to say, in China, we actually saw some overtaking in braking zones, which was the thing that we were expecting to happen. Didn't happen in Melbourne, but it happened in China. So yeah, listen, I'm all for it. It was really, really good, really good.
Lucky, what do you think?
Well, I've kind of got to agree. It's not Formula One as we know it, but it's certainly interesting. Just as I said to you before the show, is exactly what Fabio said. We saw some overtakes going into corners rather than just coming out of corners. Um, and as these guys learn what to do with this button, I think things will get even more exciting. But is it Formula One? Let's find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just quote Kirk here. I think is it Formula One?
I mean, they were saying the same things. I'm not even getting with the hybrid era.
Yeah.
They were saying the same things when Renault put a
DRS.
turbo engine
Yeah.
on the car.
Oh
Right? Yeah.
Okay, go that far back, the 70s. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, why do you think they banned all of the
Driver
all
aids.
of the all of the driver aids? Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Right? They're like, oh well, that's not fun. That's the drivers. Drivers are not driving if they've got traction control, if they've got anti-lock braking, if they've got automatic suspension or whatever it is, computer controlled suspension. That's not Formula One. Well, what is Formula One? Formula One is technology. It's the cutting edge of technology. I've been saying this for quite some time, and I don't know, guys in the chat, if you want to just wade in on this point for us as well, I'd appreciate that. Which is to say, yes, there's a drivers' championship that we all pay attention to, and sure, that's about drivers. But there's the constructors' championship, which is really where the big money is, and that's what they're racing for. And the constructors' championship is not about the drivers; it's about the car, right? And the car means it's about being designed, the engineers, and especially in the last 15 years or so, probably. Well, it's been a lot longer that they've been doing it, but I think Red Bull took it to a fine art in the last few years, which is to say development during the season. So they start at the beginning and they may be behind, but at the end Red Bull are going to be getting there almost regardless of what the situation is. They will find a way to spend the money, even if it's on some other project that's transferable to Formula One. So
yeah, I mean, look at McLaren. I mean, 2 years ago it was a dog of a car, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrible. Last year they won everything, and now this year, they didn't even start.
Yeah.
So it's just like woo.
Yeah. I mean that's unfortunate though, isn't it?
Yes,
both the McLarens out, and in the first race, of course, Piastri was out on the warm-up lap. So what a shit show from McLaren. Back to GP2 engine. That's what I'm waiting for one of them just to comically say. I want Norris to be sitting in the thing going, "Oh, GP2 engine, GP2 engine." I really take the piss out of Mercedes because they won't give them the same software. Here we go.
Mm.
As a Mercedes fan myself, I'm glad Kimi got the win. Of course, we are all glad Kimi got the win, especially Fabio. Yeah. But seeing George, Charles, and Lewis fighting for podium places, I was in the image of my seat, thinking, "Don't crash or spin," because that was racing. That racing was epic. Yeah, like especially like Lewis and Leclerc. I thought this race they were a bit sloppy last race, but I think they had words and they were a lot tidier. Especially Lewis was a lot
Mhm.
tidier, giving Leclerc room, etc. And I thought that was great. And when you look at the points right in the championship, Russell 51 points, driver standings. Antonelli 47, 4 points difference. Leclerc 34, so that's like a 18-point difference, I think, maybe 19-point
Mhm.
difference. Leclerc 34, Hamilton 33. So the rivalry is going to go on all season between the inter teammates.
Yeah.
Behrman, Chow Behrman, right? Chow Man, as we call him.
Berman,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
amazing
but
driver.
Behrman, amazed he's doing so well. I mean,
Yeah.
his teammate is nowhere near, and his
Yeah.
teammate's not half bad, although he's a bit of a dick. So Behrman 17, Norris 15. I guess it shows he's a champion. Gasly 9. I mean, we've all rated Gasly for a while.
Yeah.
Verstappen 8, and that's only costing them like what 70 million.
Yeah.
70 million for Verstappen to drive for them, and he's got 8 points, the same as Lawson, right? So something's going on. Something is going on, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Although, again, 2 races in, and as always, Australia is not a very good bell weather for the season ahead. So really, we've just had the one race. China is a good representative circuit because it's front limited, but there's a lot of acceleration parts and a lot of places that you're accelerating around corners, especially onto the back straight. So there we go. Jack, thank you, Jack, for the interaction. Appreciate this. I'm a bit worried about Japan because if Ferrari are behind the Mercs again, then Ferraris are going to be a rocket off the lights, and will be well clear of Mercs by turn one, causing a long straight, well clear of the Mercs by turn
Yeah.
one, because of the long straight. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think I
with
think so. I think so, and I'm hoping so. I really would
yeah.
like to see. I mean, I'm wearing red for a reason. I really would like to see Hamilton and Leclerc at the front working together to pull away. That's one race I'd like to see what happens, because that might be the only chance we get for Mercedes not to just dominate. Although they're rumored to be bringing an upgrade in a few races' time, engine power upgrade. So there's hope for the season yet,
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
if Mercedes get
ke-
nerfed in June.
yeah. Also, keep in mind that Ferrari is still working with the aero, especially the rear wing. And another interesting thing that we saw in China was that the first 2 sectors, Ferrari and Mercedes, were basically making the same times. The last sector, Mercedes had like a 4/10 of a second, 5/10 of a second, advantage, and it was me. And the third sector is basically is 2 corners and a 1.2 kilometers straight. So that's it. So this is where Mercedes really, has the edge. Uh, I mean,
And
with the
tire wear right now, it's tire wear
with
as well.
well, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, the tires on Ferrari actually they behaved better than Mercedes at the beginning. They got on temperature way sooner than Mercedes, and also the wear. I mean, they didn't complain too much. I think they were on par. So what I was saying is that if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
try to find if they manage to find something, especially in the way that the power is deployed, and if really that aero thing works the way it's supposed to be working, yeah, it might be interesting. And also, we talked about it before, there is the balance of performances, which is supposed to kick in June. So, and there is we just
Do you want to
chit-chat.
just explain that for us?
Yeah, I mean, basically the rule says that after, and this is where it gets interesting, after X amount of races, there are going to be some kind of like some tokens given to manufacturers in order to develop the power unit. So there are two things which are really interesting. The first one is that if I'm not wrong, the rule doesn't say that it has to be in June, but it has to be after X amount of races. And we now know that there won't be races in April. Saudi Arabia and Bahrain are canceled from the calendar. And it's still not clear if that balance of performance is going to kick in June as predicted, I suppose. So that is one aspect. And the second one is that in June, the FIA will start measuring the compression ratio in a different way with a hot engine, basically. And that because of the rumors that Mercedes, has a 16-to-1 compression ratio when the engine is cold, basically. But when it gets hotter, they got a higher compression ratio. And they're going to change the way it's measured. And the very bad people in the pit, they're saying, oh, if Mercedes comes up with a new evolution of the engine in June, I mean, we all know that was the problem. I mean, the issue at the beginning. So yeah, there is, which, by the way, we said it before, it's not irregular. It's actually something. It's a very gray area, and they exploited it. So I'm all for it if they manage to do that. But now the rules are changing, and we will know if that was their advantage.
Lucky, do you want to say something about what we've just spoken about? Either Japan or the engine rules?
Well, there's obviously an advantage with Mercedes at the moment. How will these measures even things out later on? Who knows? If they do, it will be it will be better for the racing, obviously. But have they already got something up their sleeve that's going to counteract any disadvantage they get? That's the thing I'm thinking might happen. So
yeah, okay.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. What I think we should mention is, out of all the drivers, there only seems to be one who is not very happy with the rules so far this year. And that's, of course, Max Verstappen. He's still complaining. He's still
really?
not happy. So,
Max not happy. Okay. He's not winning. He's not running people off the road, and he's not happy. Okay.
That's it.
Three things I would never have guessed.
Yeah, I mean, it has also to be said that he made quite a fantastic race. Given the material that he has, he just never gave up, and so yeah.
I mean, again, 70 million, Fabio, 70 million he's getting paid. And,
I think it was 80.
Okay, it might be 80. I thought Hamilton was on 60, and I thought he was getting 70. But whatever it is, it's a ridiculously high amount of money. Yeah. And considering he's complaining so much,
he can bail out of that contract anytime he wants as well.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, maybe. Okay, Jack says, I was saying to my mate the other day, Monaco could be interesting because of the tightness of the track. Yeah, no, absolutely. Monaco is going to be fascinating this year, I think. I really do, because these cars, are very torque sensitive, and that's a street circuit, so the grip is not high. I think it's I think it is not really a tire limited track either, not particularly. No. So I think it's going to be quite boring from that point of view. We're going to get long trains where
as always.
I know, but more than usual, right? Because you can't overtake there, even if you've got the extra amount of power, you know, and you can get power back so quickly that the lead car is never going to run out of power whenever it wants it, basically. So I don't know. It's probably going to be quite a boring race, but it'll certainly be interesting because for the first time in a long time, they've potentially got chances to overtake coming out of the tunnel.
Hmm.
If you, I mean, I can't see them super clipping even in the out of the end of
Yeah,
the tunnel.
yeah.
So but the speeds are going to be ridiculously high, and into that chicane, into the like whatever it is. I don't even know what corner it's called. But
Is there a
I
long enough
think
straight where you
there's going to be a few crashes there for sure, and I'm expecting to pick up at least one of my 6 that I've predicted Max Verstappen will have. So,
is there even a long enough straight where they could run the whole of their battery out in Monaco?
I don't think there's going to be, no. But I mean, if they don't, it means they're going to be getting to maybe like 220 miles an hour, probably higher, right? So by the end of that, by into the braking zone, coming out
That
of the tunnel, and that is scary fast in the tunnel.
the
It's always been
corner
a
in the
little
tunnel is already one of the fastest corner in the championship period, of every track. So yeah, it should be really interesting.
yeah. And imagine trying to get grip out of the last corner into the straight,
Yeah.
into the front straight. That's Anthony Nodes, is it? I think something like that is called. No, that's the on
No,
it's on
that's the
Spa.
last one. Yeah. No,
That's
no.
Spa, yeah.
Mm,
Anyway,
anyway,
last corner out to the straight. It's off camber. There's a big barrier coming towards them. If they start sliding the rear end out, and there is a big curve that will help them round, but it's dodgy. I like it. Back in the day, in the 70s, people used to clip that all the time, just trying to get the power down to get at least some benefit from the straight and try to overtake. So I do think, yeah, it's going to be an interesting race onto these new regs. The new regs, like Hamilton was saying this in some of the media stuff this week, he's been saying one thing he likes about the new regs is that you can follow the cars quite close or very
yeah.
close. He actually said because there's very little wake, although he's expecting maybe that'll change throughout the year. So at the moment, it is giving us very good racing. The other thing I'd say is I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of the, like 50-50 engine power from electronics and ICE. I think if they'd left it the same, we'd literally be having an amazing season because it would have been so track dependent. Now, I think you can use the electronics to get around your, the inefficiencies your car may have with a particular circuit, and I think
They,
that favors Mercedes more than any other team.
yeah, but I mean, they yet to change something. I mean, I'm still on the fence of the 50-50. I mean, not really because the 50-50, but because, it appears that the battery are not big enough. So, I mean, some adjustments should be made, but they had to change something because of basically Audi and Ford. I mean, those new manufacturers stepping in. So they
Yeah,
didn't want to get into a championship where, the others already had a huge amount of advantage in research and all that stuff. So
yeah, but as I understand it now, they're only giving 350 kilowatts, aren't they?
yeah.
Right, and that's not 50% of the power.
Uh,
So I thought it was like
I think it's a bit.
550.
I think it's 500 kilowatts.
I think they've restricted it to 350.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but they were originally planning to have like 550 or something like that kilowatts. In which case they would have been well over 1,000 horsepower. But now I think they've just restricted them. So, what to say? Anyway, thank you for that, Jack. hello to Lyrics. I want to shout out. Busy with life. Okay, good. Shekels don't make themselves. Yeah, tell that to Liberty Media. That's what I've been saying. Anyway, where are we at? I didn't do a race review. I don't think it's really necessary. It was the same thing. If you just go back to the first week in Australia, you could probably take the same race, swap a few people round, and that'll be the same thing because it
Yeah,
was
I
the
mean,
same thing. Race was great at the beginning, not so great towards the end. Hamilton was a star, absolute star. His overtaking, especially midway around the circuit, where he wasn't using any electrical power, was just amazing. He had a couple of really great overtakes, and really you could see the brain working again, couldn't you?
yeah,
You could see him
yeah,
going right. In 5 corners time, I'm going to be able to pull away. Like
yeah,
that was just amazing. And as you say, he was saving his energy to pull away, not to get the overtake done. So he was relying on a point where they're gaining energy back. Harvesting is the technical term. Yeah, so they were harvesting. Farmer Hamilton was harvesting during the back part of the circuit, and then really let it go down the straight so he couldn't be overtaken. And then once he'd done that a couple of times, he was free. Um, Again, I think one of the things I noticed, and I'd like you both to comment on this, and was that it was very noticeable to me that Lewis Hamilton didn't really try and attack George Russell at the beginning. He just settled in behind him. He tried for a couple of turns, and then realised he wasn't going to get it, so he just dropped back again. And then Charles Leclerc overtook him and started fighting with Russell, or was it Antonelli? Sorry, yeah, and that was noticeable. I mean, that was a distinct tactical change from last week at Australia, where Lewis got to the end and ran out of tyres because he had to pit early, presumably on his first set. Very noticeable, and again, as you say, this just goes to them learning how to use these cars in the best possible way. So I think that the starts that Ferrari get are going to be mitigated somewhat by tyre wear, and that's just going to go to Mercedes' advantage. So I'm expecting to see something very similar for the next few races. Over to you, Fabio.
yeah. I I agree with the with what you said. I don't think it's the same reasons. I think there's some difference. I mean, the first one is that compared to Australia, where basically after 15 laps it was all going down, and this one the fight went for way more. Up to 20th lap. They were fighting way more, and I think that Lewis used his tires more than he was supposed to, mostly because he never gave up on Russell, even at the end of the straight, where Russell had a huge advantage. So in order to do that, he was probably braking harder and and putting more energy on the tires. And when the two others catch up, he had way less tires than the other two, but because he overdrove the car a little bit.
Yeah,
So I think that was the only reason. Regardless, I agree with you. It was fantastic to see Lewis having fun driving again, and the same thing has got to be said about Leclerc. And I mean, Antonelli and Russell. I mean, Antonelli had a lot of fun driving.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Uh,
mean, you could tell he was so nervous as well. Like
oh
he went
yeah,
off right on the second to last lap,
yeah.
and like, whoa, you could see him. I could hear him in his car going, no, 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 no.
Oh,
And then,
he said that in the
oh, did he?
ready room before. Yeah, the room where they gather, before going on the podium. Domenicali went in, and congratulated drivers, and Antonelli, I mean, in Italian, said, "Yeah, I mean, I shat myself." Yeah, yeah, I totally shat myself. So okay,
Uh,
cool, fair enough.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lucky, lucky.
Okay, well, Hamilton looked very confident in that car, and when he went past Russell and Leclerc on the first turn, that car looked planted uh, both times. Um, and like you said, he seemed to be the happiest driver there, apart from maybe Kimi Antonelli over the weekend. So I don't know. It was a bit strange that things changed from the sprint race, where Leclerc was complaining that Lewis wasn't giving enough room, to the main race, where it was, oh, that was good fun. And by the way, is Leclerc's engineer on Valium or something? I mean, what was the reaction you got? I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad. You know, I mean, he needs.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be keeping the driver calm. That's one of his functions.
Yeah.
Well, if
So,
he's any more calm, he'd be in a fucking coma, I think.
yeah, well, there you go. I
Yeah.
mean, I thought that I think the reason Leclerc, the pastry, was happy and having fun was because Lewis had changed his driving style, and that is something which somebody commented on it in social media. I can't remember where, but they said what a difference it makes to watch a race like that, but for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been, like people running people off track to
Yeah.
gain position, and we didn't have that. We haven't had it now for 2 races, even though we've had very close racing, and what a relief it is to see that again in Formula One. So, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think Lewis,
Especially between teammates, you know.
yeah, especially
Yeah.
between teammates, right? Ocon and Gasly, for goodness sake.
Piastri and Norris.
Yeah, yeah, and Verstappen and anybody, but
Yeah.
but don't get me started on that, because I started complaining about that years ago. Anyway, I think also, that comes down to Lewis changing his driving style and being more respectful, I think, to Leclerc on track, and just going, look, we can do this. Lewis knew he saved his tyres at the beginning in order to be able to fight against Leclerc. And I think, again, that's the strategy that Lewis is now playing, and Leclerc is going to start doing the same. So I think there's going to be very little fighting back against the Mercedes in the next few races, even if they don't get off the line quick enough, right? At least until Ferrari come in with an engine upgrade for whenever that is, race 7 or something. So, I mean, I just think that's the way we're going to get a little less. And that will mean that we'll get Antonelli-Russell battles, and we'll get Leclerc-Hamilton battles, which is nothing to be afraid of, right?
Yeah.
We know that they're both inter-team rivals. Both are hard drivers. All of them are hard drivers. I think Russell's got the upper edge in the Mercedes garage, simply through experience. And Lewis, of course, just it goes to prove, right? I'm just going to put this up quickly. There we go. Lewis doesn't beat kids. I'm going to say that again for everybody. Lewis doesn't beat kids. So, as you can see, there he is with Antonelli in his Formula One outfit, and Russell obviously can't afford a Formula One outfit, but nonetheless, well done. But there we go.
Do you think that perhaps in the long term, the less battling that the two Ferraris drivers do, the better in regards to helping each other keep up with the Mercedes? Because I mean, at the moment, that all that battling is great for us. However, it's not good for them as far as a long-term sort of strategy would be concerned. So, do you think we might see that being reduced as things go on, or do you think Ferrari will just? I mean, they never said anything on the radio to either of them this race. They just let them get on with it. Do you think Ferrari will just let them get on with it, or try more of a team approach to it?
Well, I think they would have tried that. They would have had that discussion after Australia, right? And I'm guessing that because of the way Lewis drove against Leclerc in Australia, he probably went, no, look, no, we're not doing that yet. We're still fighting for the title. So
Too early.
it's too early. And I think that when Lewis changed his driving style and probably said to Leclerc, look, okay, but we can't battle each other because that's just going to hurt both our tyres. And clearly, tyres are a big thing. I hate to disappoint Fabio. Sorry, Fabio. Tyres are going to be mentioned quite a lot this year, I think.
Yeah, because we got
Uh,
nothing to say. So
yeah. But there you go. But we'll see how it goes. So I think, yeah, if I would like to see Ferrari working together in order to do that. I'm just going to come to this right now, Fabio. So Ollie did a good. This is from Jack Stevens again. Thank you, Jack, for the participation. Ollie did a good job avoiding Isaac because that was a scary spin. But I think Isaac was carrying way too much speed. But I reckon Ollie will be a full-time Ferrari driver in a couple of seasons' time. We can but hope. I mean, like I think. I mean, I know right now they're going right. Well, as soon as Lewis wants to retire, or Leclerc thinks he can't win a championship with us, then Ollie's our man. After all, he did go through the Ferrari driver program, young driver program, didn't he?
Yeah, he is a Ferrari driver. I mean, yeah, that thing was really scary. I agree with Jack. Isaac carried too much speed, but there was another thing which I think I saw on Red Bull, and that was both Ajar and Verstappen for some reason, and maybe that's because of they haven't found a proper setup or something, but that happened 2 or 3 times at the end of the straight when the wind kicks back in a couple of times, and that happened to Verstappen too. The car at the rear, it bottom down, sorry. And there was one instance where Verstappen just went straight, couldn't make the corner, and the reason being that that the floor of the car was basically grinding on the asphalt and raising the wheels. So yeah, that was really weird. As far as the Ferrari thing goes, well, I mean, first of all, it's the second race. Okay, so I mean, if they gave them team orders, I would have been furious. It's the second
Yeah.
race. They got to
No.
battle themselves. That was their position anyway. Nothing was at stake because they knew Mercedes had a slight advantage. So that was probably their position. So good job for them, just letting them battle, and what a wonderful battle they had. The other thing is that I loved how Ferrari tried, even when they couldn't. And I'm thinking more about Lewis at the beginning, where he always tried to catch up on Russell, even when he was at a disadvantage. Because their idea, I mean, that is the attitude of drivers, that they say, okay, we got to try to poke them, because even if they got a better car, keep poking them and see if they fucked up somewhere or if they got a weak spot. And if you don't poke them, they just let them do their race. Yeah, of course they're going to do their race, right? So that is a very good attitude, because it also means that that you have a car that it's not that far away. Maybe by constantly, trying to harass them, they can make a mistake. And if they make a mistake, it's not like they are, 30 seconds ahead. It's going to take them something to catch up. You get what I mean? So, yeah, I really like that, and it makes me hopeful for the future, especially if the updates are gonna be good.
Yes. Lucky?
Yeah, the Behrman Hajar incident, that was definitely a 0 to 0 move by Hajar, and all his fault. It just wasn't going to happen. He had far too much speed, as you said. Beerman, of course, he's already subbed as a Ferrari driver, hasn't he? And got points. I think he was the
Yes, yeah, he did. Yeah.
that season and got points with them both. So he seems to be the next guy on the queue to get into the Ferrari seat. So
I think that was Saudi Arabia as well. So he's got balls, that man.
Yeah. He I can't. Was it Sainz had this appendicitis or something like that? Or oh no, Sainz was in hospital. He was getting the knife pulled out of his back that Ferrari put there.
Yeah, Perez was as useless as usual. But I just think one of the things I remember you were saying about pressure from behind is keeping the pressure on the guys ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Hakkinen used to do with Schumacher, and that's why Hakkinen won 2 world titles, because he was able to successfully do that when he had a car to be able to do it. And Schumacher's weakness was always put him under pressure and make him drive the car 100% all the time, and he would make mistakes. So like most drivers, I guess. I
mean, like everybody, it's one thing to drive with your pace, even if you're faster, and another thing is driving, in some way of defense, trying to cover the other one, because you're basically, if you're under attack, you're driving the other driver. You're not driving
mirror driving
your line. You're not.
Yeah, I mean, you're driving your latest breaking point. You're driving your widest lines, and that can lead to problems. You're not giving an extra meter or something in the braking.
All you need to do is show yourself in the mirror. I mean, if you follow a car line,
you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to do that. You can get 2/10 a lap on the guy and be 3 seconds back, and that's enough pressure in a Formula One car to be able to get the guy to go, shit, he's going to be on me in 10 laps. I need to make sure that it's 20 laps or 15 laps and not 10, So that can be enough just to make them speed up, enough to make them use their tires. And then as the tires go off, they're more likely to make mistakes. So, there's a lot of reasons why it happens, I think. But that was Mika Häkkinen's trick against Michael Schumacher. And I think also that was Hamilton's kind of Hamilton's kind of bonus when he was at Mercedes. That was the bonus of Hamilton. He could drive at 10/10 for quite a long periods of time without making mistakes. And
and when he found a Rosberg which did exactly that, it just I mean, if you're not used to that, it's very uncanny, especially if you're not used to that.
Yeah, well, like I'm saying, I don't think I don't think that was the thing. The thing was he was scared of not finishing races more than anything. So that was keep the fuck away from my car. And that's one of the reasons I think he lost against Verstappen so much or so easily. Is because Verstappen was just. It wasn't the thought of Verstappen driving up behind him. The thought was when he goes to overtake, he's going to knock me off the circuit, or if I get up behind Verstappen, right, I can't overtake him because he's just going to run me off the road.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. Besides that, when you got somebody attacking you and constantly poking and prodding you, you're driving. You're responding to what somebody else is doing, which might put you out of your comfort zone. You start overdriving the car or the bike or whatever. And basically, you're not driving the way you want. That alone is enough to put yourself in the state of mind which you
I mean, there's two different things here. I mean, I think when you're having to drive defensive because somebody is right on the back of you, right, and they're looking to overtake you, and you know that they've caught you, which means they're faster. That's when you change your driving lines. But you don't change your driving lines when they're catching you, right? What you do is you just make sure that everything is spot on, right? You brake as late as you can into the corners, you drive as wide as you can into the apexes, right? So and things like that, right? Which like is your normal racing line, except you wouldn't normally go quite as extreme. You're more conscious of trying to get that extra, like whatever it is in a car, it's an extra, like, I don't know, 6 inches or something, right? And you're more conscious of that 6 inches and trying to keep your foot flat through a corner than you are actually worried about, like the guy hitting you or having to drive defensive or something. When you're driving defensive, obviously you slow down, etc. And that's when I think that's Lewis's weak point. But yeah, I don't think his weak point is having someone behind him driving up to him. That's never been a problem for Lewis, as far as I'm aware. And likewise, to some degree, it's not a problem for Norris. Norris is, I know I said this last year. Norris is just incredibly fast. That's his gift. He's not smart, right? He's not like thinks about everything else in the race.
He's no Alan Prost. Let's put it like that.
But what? No, absolutely not. But what he can do is drive incredibly fast in just about anything as well. By the way, and that's why he's doing well with and once he gets used to these things, I'm sure he'll get better as well. But that's why he's outperforming Piastri so well, because Piastri's outthinking it, right? He's trying to think, oh, how do I race these cars, and whereas the others are all going, okay, I know we're doing the study work. I've been in the sims. I know what I'm doing. I know that you have to try and use this as a deployment thing, etc., etc. I do think that now, whereas Norris is just sitting there going, okay, well, I'll let the engineers get on and do the deployment stuff, and I'll just drive the shit out of this thing. And that gives him a huge advantage because like he doesn't need to worry as long as he can get on the track, of course. Anyway, let's just move on. Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
a disastrous start to the year for Piastri. I mean, he's yet to.
But before you do, Jack Stevens, another little thing come up here. Team orders ruin racing, in my opinion, because, for example, if Lewis is faster than Charles, Lewis should work harder to get past rather than letting Charles by. I would disagree with this. I think Formula One, as I say, is a team sport, and it's clear to me now, having watched 2 races, that front tires especially on front tire limited circuits, if you push your tires too fast, then you do not stand a chance later on in the stint of doing any kind of decent times. And that this is peculiar to Formula One in the sense that they are so tire dependent because of the restrictions on tires, etc., that they're allowed to have, and getting times out of a tire is it's an art form, isn't it? So in order to get your fastest stint speed, you don't run your fastest times, and so therefore team orders are very important, and not racing your teammate when you're on different strategies, for instance, has always been a thing. And I do think it's really important that in these early races that Ferrari work together to at least get 3rd and 4th place tied down, to make sure they don't make mistakes.
Jack is not completely wrong. I mean, it depends on the situation, I think. If you are in a situation where a battle doesn't impede or, change the result of the race, or the fact that the fighting doesn't allow other people to catch up and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jack. There should be team orders, or the situation in the championship. I mean, that last Sunday was a perfect example. There was nothing at stake. The positions were that, and it was the second race. They got to find a balance in the in the box, to find it exactly eventually what we are hoping for. By the end of the season, they would have one driver and the second driver, unless they're both 1 and 2nd. So yeah, it's going to be even more fun. But that was a perfect example. There are some situations where team orders, they have their place, especially on the overall result of the race.
Lucky?
Well, it's debatable, isn't it? I mean, if a team order allows one driver to get into second position and put him in a better position for a championship, then yeah, I think that's something that they should do. However, um, when everything's equal, I think the guys should just be allowed to race themselves. It should be every man for themselves, I think.
Yeah, okay. I mean, okay, let me just put the counterpoint to you, which is this. Like, if racing with your teammate is just going to wear your tyres out to make the stint slower, then I think that it could be in Ferrari's interest to say to their drivers, okay, just conserve your tyres at the beginning of a stint when you've got the grip. Try and make the stint last a little bit longer in the hope that we can overcut the Mercedes and at least use the tyre advantage at the end of the race to try and get closer. Maybe that's a tactic which they could use. They could tow each other down the straights. They could actually increase lap time that way and potentially stay close enough to the Mercedes to race them at the end. And in such, like, the issue really then is the fact that they have such fast starts that they're always going to be tempted to race against the Mercedes, who at the end of the day are always going to win because in the current state of the cars, right? And that may not be the case at all circuits. So I'm not saying this is something they should always do. This is a race by race kind of appraisal. And potentially then they could interact with the Mercedes at the front come the end of the race. And until they try that, we're not going to know. We're just not going to know if it's even possible to keep up with the Mercedes. If it is, and they arrive in the last, say, 15 laps with, a small gap between the Mercedes and the Ferraris, and they've got, stronger tyres, then I don't know. Then it's worth using using those tactics of team orders, in the sense. I mean, they're going to be driver dictated, right? At the same way I think they were in this race, right? Lewis decided on his own. He just wasn't going to start attacking Antonelli right at the beginning. I just don't think he was going to do that. And he tried for a couple of corners and then went, no, that's not working. I'm not going to waste my tyres on it. And literally dropped back to whatever it was, a second and a half, and then kept it there until Leclerc cruised up behind him. Right now, he can fight against Leclerc, right, because he knows he's not getting first or second place, so he's only fighting over third place. And if the person you're fighting against is also wearing their tires out, then you're not losing anything, right? So there's no issue. So if Ferrari did say to them, right, Leclerc, I don't want you fighting with Hamilton, I don't want you fighting with Leclerc. If he comes up behind you at pace, then we will decide who goes ahead, and we'll give you team orders to either hold station if Lewis is going fast enough, or if he's not going at the pace that we want him to go to conserve the tyres, then by all means we'll tell him to back off. Now I'm only saying that in the practical sense of saying maybe then towards the end of the stint they're going to catch the Mercedes a little more, and if that's the case, then maybe a chance that they could win. I don't know that. It's very circuit dependent anyway, so whether they decide to do it on which circuits, I don't know. But I'd like to see them give it a go just to see how good that when they work together, they can keep their tyres in and maybe challenge Mercedes. That's kind of my
they're two very. I mean, in Ferrari, they're two very mature riders. I mean, they don't need papaya rules to understand how to fight with themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Or whether they should work with themselves, work together to do it.
Yeah.
So, but I think the team should be saying to them, okay, look, here's a strategy. Keep your tyres in. Do not fight against the Mercedes or each other at the beginning of the race. Make sure you get a long stint out first, so you've got fresher tyres at the end. And if you work together, then potentially, you can. I mean, for instance, this is purely speculative, right? But for instance, um, one of them, right, going onto that back straight down China, right? If they were working together, right, one of them could be towing the other car down the track, right, down that long straight at the back, so he's not having to use as much energy down the straight, and then into the braking, they both recharge, right? The one with the more energy overtakes in the next straight, and then tows the other one down the
Yeah,
front straight, right?
that
I mean,
that that usually
that's gonna gain time. That is gonna
no.
gain,
No, you're
lap
right.
time.
You're right. It's a very good point. That usually happens with motorcycles. With cars, it's way more difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's way more difficult because while I mean a motorcycle, in order to do that, you only move a little bit outside of the optimal braking line. With a car, you're usually in an area where you don't want to be. So yes, it is true. It's way harder with the cars, but yeah, I mean that's a
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But not impossible.
no,
Not
no, no. It's not
impossible. And
impossible.
like, like we know that the cars do give a lot of extra, you can tow, you can gain a lot of speed
Hmm.
through towing, and the amount of battery you can save potentially is quite a lot as well.
No, no.
And I'd just like to see them give it a go and see what they
No,
can
you're
do,
right.
and use these energy rules in a out of the box kind of way, rather than just saying, "Oh, look, this is the fastest way to do a lap." Well, is it the fastest way to do a lap for two cars? Let's
There are
explore that.
there are tracks where I think it's going to be easier to do. Like Monza, for example, is one. Monza
Exactly.
would
Yeah,
be
exactly.
fantastic to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting that to happen if the chance is there. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we are 1 hour in.
5 minutes in. Yes, thank you very much, Jack, for those thoughtful questions. And
Yeah.
yeah, they've given us a lot to think about and a lot to talk about. So we
I
really
guess
appreciate that.
I guess today we're all agreed on who the driver of the day is.
Oh yeah,
Antonelli. Fuck yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
Antonelli.
Forza Italia.
I'm gonna
Hey,
fight. I'm gonna fight anybody which says differently.
Despite his slight understanding in the sprint race, I think still driver of the day, youngest ever winner of a Grand Prix.
no,
Uh,
no,
yeah,
no,
I think so. I
I
think
think
no.
he
is
is. You
young.
know.
Are you sure?
Mm.
Okay.
Second youngest. Max Verstappen is still the youngest.
Um,
Antonelli's 19 and something, and Verstappen was 18 and something. So
let me check this out here.
Yeah.
okay, you check it out. Well,
Yeah.
you go ahead, Fabio, because I need to take my pills.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic race. Antonelli, man of the day for sure. Uh, Lucky before mention a bit of difference between the sprint race and the race, the way that Ferrari performed and all that stuff. I think there was during the race the temperature was slightly higher, and I think that changed the performance of the car a bit. But yeah, other than that, it was. I mean, I had a lot of fun watching that race. Obviously,
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
really, really, really good. And even the back markers, they put up, some kind of show. Hulkenberg with I mean Berman, Gasly. I mean, it was a fight for everybody.
Mm.
So
Ocon.
yeah, yeah.
Ocon was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Fantastic, fantastic. Really, really amazing. I mean, there was that time. I think it was Berman, Ocon, and Gasly.
Yeah.
Getting at the same time in the corner, and Berman getting in, Ocon Gasly going wide. I mean, it was really fun to watch. Really fun to watch. There is also another thing which I've noticed the first two races. I think is going to change in the future. That it's very easy for the driver to make a mistake with even with the management of the car, the deploying of the battery, and all that stuff. and that only adds to the show, because every little mistake by somebody is a huge opportunity for somebody else. So you never really know, and that, I
Yeah,
think, is
true.
what made Antonelli's race even better. If you look at the timesheet, it was fantastic. I mean, as consistent as you could be. That was the guy, except when he shut himself to go 2 laps. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a
Yeah,
proper
I mean, like,
code
as we
brown,
know,
but
like
yeah.
as we know, I think that they're all struggling under braking right now, and that means every time they go for an overtake, they don't know whether they're going to have to, they want to outbrake someone, so they step on the pedal that harder. But of course, because because the power thing is trainable, right? It deploys and halves in set ways. Then that makes it very difficult for the drivers, and that's the unpredictability, I think. Go ahead.
There is a thing which I really loved, and I've noticed this first 2 races. The fact that the aero is not depending on the fact if you're following a car with, I mean, basically they have active aero every time, all the cars, right? And especially the front wing, you can clearly see when it changes. That gives you a very good idea on who is braking late or not. If you watch it closely, you can definitely see, even the split second that it takes, difference between one and the other. So that's a very nice visual cue that I think this rule has added up. It made seeing, the braking uh, way more clear, and it's way easier to see who breaks later than the other.
Yeah, yeah. Lucky. Anything you want to say about the race or the upcoming season and the drivers? Finish up.
Um, no, I don't think so. I just yeah, Antonelli, driver of the day for all of us. I think brilliant performance. He led from the lights. So what can you say? Forza Italia.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I mean, see.
See.
Okay, see. Yeah. No, ciao, man. Bella, bella. Yeah, that's all good. Okay, so now I don't know if we have one, but it's is it a quiz? Is it a myth? Is it a myth? Or is it a quiz? Quiz is a myth. Myth is a quiz. It's quiz time with Lucky, not an expert.
Okay,
And
it's gonna be a really easy one. Maybe a follow up question. We'll see. Um, as we're talking about Ferrari so much, who was the last driver that was signed by Enzo Ferrari before he died?
uh,
Nicky Lauda.
no, 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 no.
No,
I think.
later than that.
Oh man, I think it was one of the last ones. I'm not really sure if it was the last one. It might be Alboreto.
It wasn't Alboreto, actually. Do you want another stab at it? Both of
Yeah,
you?
yeah. We both do. I'm sure we both do. I don't know. I don't know when he died, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would give me a better idea, of
We
course.
certainly
But
would, yes.
yeah,
So
So
it might
uh,
it might have been Berger then.
it wasn't. I'll give you a
wasn't
clue,
Berger.
though. I'll give you a
Yeah.
clue.
Okay.
Okay. The first race this guy had was a surprise victory.
Was it Irvine?
No, before that, before Irvine's time. Think of a surprise Ferrari victory.
Oh,
I'm,
I
I'm
mean,
thinking at the
they're all
last race.
surprises these days. So, I mean, like,
I don't think it was Massa, but
it certainly was. It
it
was
was
El
Massa.
Coyote. Yeah, it
Oh,
was Mansell.
Jesus.
Last driver signed by Enzo
sorry,
Ferrari.
who did you say, Massa?
I said
No,
Massa.
Mansell.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he said Massa, so you gave
yeah.
it
I said
away there.
Felipe Massa, not
Did you
Nigel
say Mansell?
Mansell.
I thought you said Mansell.
No, I
Oh
said
my
Massa.
god. Oh,
I
well,
was
yeah.
going to get. I would have guessed Mansell eventually, but yeah.
eventually. It
Well,
wasn't.
in my brain, I thought, well, Prost, maybe Prost, because Prost was
No, it was.
1990. But then I thought he passed
Master.
away in the 80s. So,
Yeah. If you remember,
Are
Mansell had
you
that surprise.
sure it was Mansell though?
Yes, I'm sure it was Mansell.
it's
Remember,
1989. That would have been
Mansell had that surprise victory at the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Brazil. Yeah, when he overtook around the
Everybody thought
outside.
that car was going to last 5 laps and give up, but the gearbox and everything held together, and he was the surprise winner, and that would have been the first victory Ferrari had after Ferrari died. He's checking it.
Yeah.
But,
He is
I'm
checking
telling
it. I can see that. He
you, it
doesn't
was
believe
our
you.
night. They called him El Leone in Italy, and
He
in
did,
the
he
UK
did.
we called him our Nige.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I okay. So technically, it was Michele Alboreto because Mansell is usually said it was the last one, but yeah. The last driver that Enzo Ferrari actually signed, with his pen, with his name, it was
Listen,
Alboreto.
just because Antonelli won this weekend, stop arguing, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
listen, I mean,
Okay.
you can check it out. I mean, I just checked. That's what it says. But yeah.
Just
Fair enough.
that's enough. You've had a winner. You've had a fucking winner. So just enough, okay?
No, he
Here's-
hasn't. He hasn't
here's-
had a win this season.
here's a
I
story.
won. I won last year week.
Yeah.
So
Nigel Mansell, when he signed for Lotus, didn't have anywhere to live. So believe it or not, Colin Chapman actually bought him a house.
wow. Yeah, there you go.
As part of his signing on fee. So
I thought it was a caravan. I didn't think he bought him a house. I thought he bought him a caravan.
No, he actually Mansell had like remortgaged his house 3 times to keep himself in racing before Chapman took notice of him and took him under his wing. And the first thing he did was, because Nigel Mansell didn't actually own a house, it was mortgaged to the hilt. He bought him a house to live in. Him and his wife and kids. So
there you go.
Yeah. So
And
anyway,
soon after, he grew a
I
moustache.
mean, just
History has never
back,
been the same since.
because I think that Mansell was the last one to.
Well, share your screen. Share your screen. Come on, let's see it.
Well, it's
Let's
in
see it.
Italian, so
Let's got some receipts here.
We're all Ferrari fans. We can all read Italian.
okay.
Don't
Yeah, hold on a second. Holy shit. Hold on.
Yeah, let's
this
see this.
one.
'Cause
Yeah,
I'm sure the
there you
fans
go.
would be, our fans would love to know.
Signed by
Ja, l'ultima di palla di Formula 1 stanno in Gallo personalmente con Enzo Ferrari prima del
according
scomparsa
to Google AI, it was Nigel Mansell.
Michele Alboreto in 1988.
Nigel Mansell was the last driver personally selected and signed by Enzo Ferrari before his death in August.
Nota bene, yes.
The British driver, nicknamed Il Leone by the Tifosi, joined the Scuderia for the 1989 Formula One season, famously winning his debut race, as I said, in Brazil.
So, I mean, they
sia Travello sia teori molto simili alla Verticea, tutti Ferrari 83. Yeah, I think we all get that.
The problem is that in I think that Mansell was signing late 88, stuff like that. And at the time, the thing is that Enzo Ferrari wasn't really that active in choosing the drivers. So you might be technically right, but if you go for the last driver chose by Ferrari, wanted by Ferrari, that would be Michele Alboreto in 88. But
I think he would have wanted Mansell though. I mean, there's no way they
yeah,
didn't run it
maybe.
by
Yeah,
him. There's no
you're
way
right.
they didn't run it by him and say,
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Don Ferrari. They would have said to him, Don Ferrari. Shall we have Mansell or shall he sleep with the fishes? I think that's roughly how the conversation would have gone. Anyway, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there you are. Maybe he was the last driver. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe we'll never know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like I say, there's no way they didn't run it by him, even if he wasn't the one that Enzo went to look at and see and go, yeah, you're great. Because Enzo famously just used to pop outdoors and watch the test. I don't even know whether Mansell went to Maranello for a test. I think they signed him like sight unseen as Ferrari. Because he was already famous.
For Mansell.
Who?
Say what?
Berger. Berger was Mansell's first
teammate. I think Berger was.
Yeah.
And then when did Alboreto come into the picture then?
Oh, not till. Well, Nigel left in 91, so I'm assuming it's then.
So
Prost. I mean, when did Prost leave? I mean, Prost they must have completely changed their team in 91.
Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. I'm getting old.
Well, all we got to do is look up who were Ferrari teammates in 91.
Well, Mansell wasn't there in 91. I think he left. He left in 91.
Yeah, but when did the more to the point is when did Prost leave?
When he left,
because he went to. Oh no, he didn't.
Have a little looky, shall
we? He went to Williams and he was champion in 93. So he'd have left Ferrari at the end of 92.
Oh God, they've given me all of this shit.
And then 94 was Schumacher's first year when he took out Damon and cheated. So
John Lacey apparently. John Lacey was was first. So I'm guessing that's 91. Yeah, the 91. So Alboreto wasn't even in the car then.
No, Alboreto stopped in 88.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. John Lacey, hey? There's a name to conjure with. Yeah, half French, half Italian. You can tell by the name.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think... sorry, but Lucky, I spoke over you there. Go ahead.
No, I was saying he was half Sicilian rather than Italian, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure Murray Walker used to mention that every single Grand Prix.
Murray Walker.
I'm sure he did.
Jesus Christ.
Don't get me started on Murray Walker. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic guy. Okay. All's fair in love and war, and this is revolution. It's my favorite quote from Murray Walker. Yeah.
I think there was a few Murray fucking.
There's loads of Murrayism, you know.
Gary's driving is absolutely unique.
Yeah.
Apart from no one in front of him.
Yeah, he's overtaken second place to lead the race. Well, he would be if he was in first place. Oh, brilliant. Oh, dear. Yeah. Anyway, enough said there. I think that's everything we got, is it?
I think so.
Okay. Please remember to please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And as always, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. And we will see you all next week. It's not next week. When are we next here, Fabio?
It's gonna be Japan, the 28th and 29th of March.
So that would be not this weekend, but the weekend following, I'm guessing.
Yes.
22nd, 28th, yeah. So we will see you in 2 weeks' time. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Jack, if you're still there. We really, really appreciate the interaction. It really helps us a lot. And so, please come back and please subscribe to the channel, like
Absolutely.
the stream. And if you can leave a couple of comments down, that will give us something to muse about. That would be also very helpful.
Any
And
abuse we're willing to take any kind of abuse.
oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially you. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's part of the Scottish feature. That's
No,
what we like.
I mean it's 2 for 2 for Lucky for fucking up the Quizzer myth right now.
What?
Yeah.
Right, that's enough. That's enough. No more Forza Italias for you.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, it wasn't me. I mean, I said Massa. You thought Manso. Say, oh yeah, it's Manso.
Oh, well, yes, I did fuck it up. I must admit. Yes, that was true. I did fuck it up.
Anyway,
It's
there you
Italian
go.
accent. It's foreign.
Yeah.
Or an accent.
So it's goodbye from me.
And
It's
goodbye
goodbye from
from
Nigel Mansell's moustache.
Our Nige, El Leone.
And
Ciao.
and Lucky.
Forza Kimi.